I've been involved with self-development, self-improvement, whatever you want to call it, for a long time now. When I first picked up a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People when I was 19, 20, that really opened my eyes to a world where I could make my life better for myself. And that started me on this whole journey. And since then, I've read hundreds of books. I listen to podcasts daily, watch probably thousands of YouTube videos. I've been to seminars, downloaded courses. There is as much self-improvement content as you could ever want to read in your entire lifetime. And yet we certainly don't all have these amazing lives that we want to live. So I've been reflecting on why that is, why self-improvement works for some people and doesn't for others. And in particular for me, there's been occasions where self-development has actually had the opposite effect and has made me feel like shit, has made me feel really inadequate. Because it felt like whenever I reached a goal that there was another loftier goal to reach. And because I wasn't there and other people were, that I was lesser. And I guess like any good tool, like a sharp knife or a saw or a drill, whatever, think about it, it has huge potential for building, for construction, for life, but it also has the same amount of potential for its opposite, which is destruction and death and chaos. And so I think we have to be very careful about how we use self-improvement, and we have to understand what it means. And I think before we even get started with self-improvement, we have to take a real long, hard look at who we are as individuals and what are our good points and what are our bad points, what are things that we want to change. I, for one, always found it easier to pick up my bad points, and I think that's a real problem for most of us. Is it's very easy to think on negative things, and it's very hard to congratulate yourself. You know, ask yourself, what are 5 negative things about yourself that you could improve on? All right, and if you're anything like me, you could list 5, 10, 15, 20 different things. But when someone ever asked me to list 5 good things about yourself, that's where it became very difficult. And why should that be? You know, why should it be so hard to think of good things about yourself? And in essence, what I'm learning at the moment is that self-improvement doesn't help us to build skills and abilities that we don't already innately have in ourselves. And what I mean by that is that, let's say you want to be a really good salesperson, right? I use sales because I work in sales. So I want to be a really good salesperson, and there's a lot of skills and abilities that come under that umbrella of sales, you know, presentation, communication, empathy. There's lots of different things you need to understand to be a good salesperson. I've had success in sales since I started 5 or 6 years ago, and I don't think that's necessarily because of my self-improvement journey. I don't think it's because of a specific book that I read or because of a specific video or course or whatever. More that I already had those natural, innate talents within myself, and all of the self-development content that I digested just helped me to realize those things in myself. And I think that's what's really important, is that's where this dual aspect of it comes from, is that it may well be like, I know that I'm terrible at maths and I know that I can get better at maths, but it's not in my innate ability to understand maths or to be good at mental arithmetic. And so, yeah, I could spend the next 10 years of my life doing a uni degree or something in pure mathematics, and I may even eventually learn it, but it's not in my natural innate abilities to do that. And so why make life harder for yourself? What I'm starting to realize is that actually, I think sometimes our purpose is to figure out who we are. I think we already are everything that we need to be. We don't need to learn any more skills. We don't need to become better people. We just need to unearth what already exists in us. And I think you find that in, like, you know, I've got a younger brother and I see his friends around all the time, and you see the kids that have very strong upbringings with very supportive parents, with lots of people around them that bring them up, and then you see the kids that are perhaps isolating themselves more and not getting the support that they need. And those kids that have all that encouragement, they have all these small victories which slowly builds their confidence, and they're able to just discover who they are. They're not becoming someone different because of the encouragement they're getting. They're just becoming more of who they are. And I think that's the key difference. I think the reason why self-improvement can be so difficult is because, you know, you look at a celebrity like, I'll give you an example of the guy that I've been seeing a lot of recently, which is Stephen Bartlett. And he's incredible, you know, he's so switched on. He just really knows his shit. And he's, I think, younger than me. I'm 33, I think he's 32, and he already runs multiple businesses. He's on Dragon's Den. He's got a great YouTube channel and a podcast. Like, the guy is on form. And comparing myself to him makes me feel like shit. But when I realise that actually me and him are both very different people, and that he was fortunate enough maybe to discover his own innate abilities sooner than I was, and now at the age of 33 I'm realising that is what is important, not becoming someone else but becoming more of who I am. And now I've made that discovery, it's my time to start shining. No, I joke, but to be more of who I am, to learn who I am, and to use self-improvement, self-discovery to figure out what are my pros, what are my cons, where I'm going to play to my strengths and work on the weaknesses I have that need to be worked on, and just put aside the things that I can't do, because there's no point beating yourself up about things like that. All the time you spend beating yourself up about what you don't have, you could be building yourself up in other areas. You could be discovering that actually you're a really talented painter, or actually you're really great with instruments and you've got a fantastic ear for music. You know, there are a limitless amount of potential skills and abilities that you have within yourself. So don't spend your life beating yourself up about what you don't have and comparing yourself to anybody else. So yeah, that's where I've been going lately with my trail of thought. And I hope you don't mind me recording these videos while I'm driving. I'm working full time. I have a property that I'm working on and other stuff going on in life, and I find it much easier to record these videos while I have a bit of spare time while I'm driving, which is right now, because I spend a lot of time doing this. So I hope you don't mind that format. It works for me, and hopefully it works for you. But let me know what your thoughts were on this video today, because as always, like, I love to hear the comments, both good and bad, as long as they're constructive. Because what really makes this community what it is the interaction and the comments that we get. So let me know what your thoughts are. I do my best to comment on or to reply to as many comments as I can. And what's really great is I've been starting to see in the comments is people replying to other people's comments, which is great. You know, it feels like we're building this small community here of people that really want to work on themselves, but not just in the traditional self-development guru bullshitty kind of sense. They want to hopefully become more of who they are so they can be better for other people. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully some of what I said made sense today. Thanks.